If you were searching for the best loadout to finish this event as fast as possible, you found the right video. Because I'm going to show you the best build for every single tier. Now just keep watching and enjoy the video. Hello everybody and welcome back to another Respawnables video. This time it's gonna be another event guide video where I tell you the best loadout to use for every single tier. This event features 4 different weapon types, being bows, shotguns, assault rifles and pistols. And while using them you will also have to wear one of the recommended masks. If you don't want to miss future videos just like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because it really helps me out. Now, today's plan is the following. I'm going to tell you what you have to do to complete each tier and also tell you what's the best combination or loadout I recommend using, so you can do it as fast as possible. This video will include paid items, so if you are free to play, you unfortunately can't do those. Still, I'll also make sure to include different loadouts, so if you're just missing one item, you can replace it for another one. And before this gets boring, let's just go ahead and start with the video. Alright, first of all, I need your attention now, because otherwise it's gonna be hard to understand. I will be using this layout to show you the tier we are currently talking about in the top left, the best build to use with head, body and legs on the right, and in the purple box in the bottom left you can see the best weapon in the white and some additional helpers like pets or different gear you can use to improve your gameplay. Just in advance, I'm sorry for the messed up colors, that's just how my editing software handles green screens for some reason, so some parts are gonna be cut out that I don't actually want it to be cut out. But it is how it is, and that's all the tools I got, so you have to see it. I'm also going to skip tiers 1 and 2 because you can do those in missions. Okay then, starting with tier 3 you have to get kills using pistols and the recommended mask. As for the weapons, I used the dual spell gun because I think that's the best pistol currently in the game. As for the build, and this will be the same build for every tier, we got the newly released mask, the medic jacket, as well as the newly released legs. That's just the most protection you can get right now while actually progressing in the event, and that's why I used it. It's pretty simple, just tank build, and you won't die as much as well as get more kills out of it. If you bought the bundle, definitely use this. If you didn't already and are still wondering if you should get it, I made a review about it, go check that out. And if you don't spend any money, unfortunately you can't do this. If you're one of those guys, I recommend you go for the best build you have, like the most health or the most damage for each and every type of weapon, and do it this way. It's gonna be a bit harder for you, but not impossible, trust me. Tier 4 is going to be the same task once again, defeat enemies using assault weapons while wearing the recommended mask. So instead of pistols we're going to use the Rainbow's End. Well, now this is personal preference, but I found out that the Rainbow's End is a pretty solid weapon to do this, and that's why I just used it all the way through the event. If you have something better, or if you are more comfortable with another assault weapon, sure, go for it. Tier 5 is just like tiers 3 and 4, but with shotguns. And you guessed it, we're going to use the explosive shotgun for this one. Now, if you own the explosive shotgun, the shotgun tiers are gonna be the easiest for you. But if you don't, just use another shotgun that is high damage and possibly even some effect damage like the fire spatter or the fan gun. The last one of the defeat enemies set is tier number 6. You'll have to defeat enemies using a bow while wearing the recommended mask. As you might know, the Ultra Adder is the best bow currently in the game, and that's why I used it for this one. It's pretty hard to defeat enemies using bows, but with this one it's basically a one-shot, even if they're using some tanky builds. With its poison damage, this bow is most of the time a one-shot anyways, so I didn't even bother damage buffing it and instead went for the Lenny patch to get some more agility. With tier 7 we are repeating the cycle and now it's time to get 3 kills in a row while using a pistol and wearing the recommended mask. Fastest way to finish those is with glass cannon, high damage pets and obviously the shield. Now when I did this with the pistols it worked out pretty well for me, so I just continued with the assault weapons as well. Using the rainbow's end this time, I shield spammed my way through the 8th tier. In tier 9, which is the same but with shotguns, I didn't even have to shield spam. I just used the explosive shotgun and it was pretty easy, not gonna lie. But if you are not using the explosive shotgun, you might as well go ahead and shield spam your enemies. Alright, tier 10, do the same thing but with bows, and this time I actually had to rely on my shields. It is pretty hard to get kills with bows, and 3 in a row is even harder. Also, the knockback from the Ultra Adder really threw me off sometimes because you can't use your gadgets during it. Now, tier 11 is where the pain really begins. You'll have to win matches using a pistol while wearing the recommended mask once again. It's 15 matches you have to win, so 15 times 4 minutes, that's a long time. An hour to be exact. With this build it was pretty easy though and I managed to win 15 in a row. Tier 12 felt a bit harder but was pretty easy as well. I just used the cloud pet to attract enemies' medals to get more points out of it and also save some points while attracting my own teammates. You can also use the trap medal as your gadget, but keep in mind that your body should be switched out if you do. Same thing with the explosive shotgun on tier 13, but I think you don't need trap medals for this one, it should be easy for you. After I played some of the tiers, I recognized the pattern and it holds true. This time we have to do the same thing but with bows. I didn't use trap medals, but I think I should have because I wasted some time because bows are still pretty hard. The tiers 15, 16, 17 and 18 were pretty casual again, so you just need to get kills with your 4 different weapon types while wearing the recommended mask. It should be pretty chill, it's also in free-for-all, so you can get some kills for free. Using this loadout helps you get like 25 to 30 kills a game, and therefore you will be done with it pretty fast. I basically used the same loadout as the previous kill tiers, but this time you'll have to get 60 and it takes a bit longer, but it should be easy for you. Well, I guess after the fun part comes another boring one. Finish top 3 in the winning team using a pistol while wearing the recommended mask. This time it's 20 wins in team versus again. And I mean, why? So I just went ahead, accepted my fate and did the same thing once again with the same loadout once again. I used the rainbow's end as an assault weapon because at the moment it felt still pretty strong. As for tier 21 with the explosive shotgun once again, it felt pretty easy. I just won I think 19 in a row and lost the last one, but I won't talk about that. And then continued with tier 22 and the bow once again. Now for the bow one I should have used the trap medals as well as a different body, but I didn't think of it at this point, so I just went along with the same build I always use, just the medic jacket and some heals. But I think if you use the trap medals it should be pretty easy, or at least easier than it was for me. I had a sleepless night this day because obviously I had to complete the event as fast as possible, So tier 23 inflicting damage on enemies using a pistol while wearing the recommended mask came in pretty handy. As for the pistols, I used dual spell guns again because they gave me a lot of damage with the magical fire effect as well, so I just thought this will be the best option, and it was. The amount of damage you have to deal is 6000, but don't worry, you don't have to do it in one single game. You can just hit your enemies for damage most of the time. Killing an enemy will give you around 100 damage. Once again, tier 25 using the shotgun was the easiest out of them, and I felt pretty good after that because I only had to play 2 matches to do it. Right after that, tier 26 took me about 6 matches with the bow, which just shows that using the bow won't really deal that much damage to your enemies. Most of the time you get them in one shot and can't even milk them for the damage. So tiers 22 to 26 were all playable in freefall, and that's what they should have been. Because getting damage like that in team versus with only 4 enemies instead of 8 would be a lot harder. On tier 27 I almost shot myself with the dual spell guns, but I had to use them to shoot my enemies instead. Because it was 20 wins with a pistol in team versus once again. I mean, we really can't blame the developers for doing it like this, because this event should last for a whole month, not be completed in 2 days. But adding another 20 kills with 4 different weapons, no kills, I mean 20 wins with 4 different weapons, each taking 80 minutes, I'm not really sure if that's the right decision. Luckily, I already unlocked tier 28 and tier 29, so I didn't have to do it. And honestly, I'm pretty happy about it, because that just saved me about 160 minutes if everything went right, of sweating the lobby and winning every single game. So yeah, I had the items already and skipped it. I just went straight ahead to tier 30. So tier 30 is the same thing but with bows, and obviously I used the ultra adder again. I did this during nighttime, so I had pretty easy enemies and not a lot of full lobbies. So if you're trying to do it, play at night, I guess. But I really wish that I could have skipped the bow one instead of the shotgun one, because with explosive shotgun it would have been way easier. Anyways, here we are, tier 31, the needle. This is a new weapon released during this event, so I was almost there. And I had to get 5 kills in a row without dying. This time there's no weapon restriction, so you could just use whatever you wanted. I mean, you still had to use the mask, but that didn't keep me from using the rookie machine gun to get the final prize, or at least the tier 31 prize. It's not the final one, but for me it was, because I already had the bundle. Doing it with the rookie machine gun is obviously not the easiest option, so you should just go ahead and use the explosive shotgun as well as some shields. I didn't do it because of my name and my ego, but yeah, you can really use anything you want. If you don't have the explosive shotgun, use your best weapon. But I think shields are a must-have. For the final tier, tier 32, you have to get double kill awards with your sword. Well, you don't actually have to use the needle, but if you only unlock this as your first melee weapon, you are stuck with it. I think I would have used the fire axe. Well, I didn't because I already had the final prize, as well as some shields, because getting double kills with melee weapons is actually not easy. At least I think it's not. So 20 double kills it is, and make sure after every double kill you kill yourself or get killed, because sometimes it glitches out and won't give you the points. Anyways, if you did finish the 20 kills, you already finished the event, and Let me know down in the comments if you already did and how long it took. That's all I got for today's video, and I'm pretty thankful that you watched the whole thing. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and obviously subscribe to the channel because it helps me out a lot. And now, with that all out of the way, we will see us in the next video. Bye!